Just there back there a little bit. There we go. And a little spook painting. Showed y'all a week ago or so. I did a live showing how I increased the rattling on these things. I'm going to do a little painting today. Maybe some people can pop in. It's about -2 degrees out right now. And it's extremely snowy. Spin the camera around here. Look out the window there. It's a little snowy. And very cold. There's somebody in here. Painting up some spooks. Threw and put a bunch of base color on them. I always like to start out with a base color. And I got a bunch of them to get painted up. Gonna paint these up kind of like a shad. Kind of a shad pattern. It's a process. It takes a couple of different things here. We're just gonna, these are pretty simple that I'm doing. Not real difficult. Got a base on there white. Like a white base on almost all of them I do. You want something opaque. You don't want it to be able to see through it. If you paint them with just the colors first, I don't know if you can tell on that one there, you can't really see it on the camera, but I can actually see the rattles inside of it even though it's got green on it as the base. You want a white base, white, or when I'm doing a black, I'll do it darker, I'll do a black one. But to do what my version of the shad anyway is paint them base white. Then we use black pearl as the color I'm going to use. It doesn't take a whole lot, but I'm going to do about 15 of them like this. You put that in your airbrush. Make sure you get your airbrush good and clean. These pearl paints will clog them up pretty easy. And all I'm going to do is from a distance just put a little on there. I'm going to go right down the back. Just like that. Just my camera's in the way here. Got a little holder there. Move my camera back a little bit. Just like that. See it in the light. Almost looks silver. It's pearl black. That's basically all I'm doing. They're not fancy. They don't have to be fancy. You could get fancy. I could put a kill dot on them. Hold that on there and put a kill dot. Or even a little gill plate, red gill plate. But I just like keeping them simple. Just like I said, just a nice and simple. There's no reason to get overly complicated with them. I'll probably put a kill dot on these after they dry. I don't like painting two different colors real quick. One, I got to clean my airbrush between them, each color. And two, you risk messing up what you just done. Again, I'm just kind of taking that black pearl and just to tone down that white a little bit. And just right across the back. You can make it as dark as you want. There's another one. Let's step 2. See on the camera there, if you don't get her even, it'll show. You don't really notice it until after you after it dries. See there, it's just right kind of down the center. That's all I'm doing, try to get it even. Sometimes you gotta look at it. Just like that. I'm gonna go through and do 15 of these like that. Got a rack up here. Y'all can't see it or not there. I'll turn it where you can see it a little bit where I hang them. I've got a bunch of them I already did up with the base on them. But it's cold and it's snowy. I don't mind the snow necessarily fishing. Video I posted earlier this week, we were out in the snow. We actually shoveled a ramp at Ray Barron's to get out. That part don't bother me, but I tell you what does bother me is being negative. I don't want to be on that water when it's negative. Negative any degree, not alone as cold as it's been. As soon as the weather warms up, I was talking, after this week it's supposed to start warming up. Really starting Wednesday, Thursday aren't too bad, but it's still going to be cold at night. But next week's supposed to be a lot better. Temperature wise, it's calling for almost 50 degrees, I think, a week from tomorrow. If it's 50 degrees and that lake ain't froze over, I'll be out on it, as long as it ain't raining. Oh, I forgot to do these two like that, didn't I? That one. I know I didn't do this one, did I? Oh. Yeah. Everybody, you gotta try to make these all the same. They're not perfectly the same just because I'm painting them by hand. It ain't like going to buying your hiddens or whatever spooks, whoever makes them. As a hair spook, these are bigger as a hair spook blank. That's what these are. And then use them for catfishing. And then I sell them. So I like them a little bigger. I got some bigger ones ordered. They just aren't here yet. Hopefully they get here. Shipping right now, I don't know if it's because of Christmas or what, but shipping right now is a nightmare. If you shipping anything or bought anything, shipping right now is ridiculous. I had a gentleman want more of the dragon sinkers that I make. Got a hold of me, and I think when I told him to send them to him, it'd be $9. I think he lost interest. But that's the cheapest shipping I can get right now on priority. With the quantity he wanted anyway. I think it's up to 15 pounds. So I'll do a few of these, and then we'll switch over and do some fancy, nice colored ones. Oh, and this goes pretty quick, this part of it. You can go through them. You can go through these pretty quick doing this. Got a bunch of these little hooks I made from epoxy in them. I didn't think the epoxy was built up on them. Hang these. I'll do a live showing how I put the top coat on these. Coming up here, probably next week or so. My next live I decide to do. There's 6 of them. Goes pretty quick. You know, I'm just toning that down a little bit, toning that white down a little bit. A simple stripe down the back, as even as I can eyeball it, because that's all I do is eyeball it. It don't have to be perfect. I mean, the old saying, color catches fishermen, not fish. But, I mean, you don't technically want the fish to hit this. The main purpose of it is just for the rattle. But it is nice when they do kind of look like something. I think nobody's typed anything. Hope you all can hear me. There's 4 people in here watching though. I might periodically start doing these lives a little more. At least until I get busy this spring with guide trips and all the other stuff I got going on. So, just kind of this is what I'm doing today. Sorry there ain't a video today because I haven't been fishing. Last video we fished, that was the day before I posted. That's when we went and did that. It's been, like 3 or 4 days ago, before this cold snap. This cold snap kicked in. Andie called me and said, "Hey, let's go fishing." I said, "You're nuts. We got 6 inches of snow on the ground." Like, "Oh, we'll just go up Thomas Hill." Well, they got more snow over there than we did here. And I didn't think we'd get it. I didn't really want to ride 2 hours and find out we couldn't get in down there. So I mentioned, let's go look at the boat ramps. We went and looked at Ray Barron's there, and heck, it wasn't bad at all. So we went up to, shout out to Kurt, Ken Damn General Store. We stopped in up there and asked if he had shovels for sale. I had brought a shovel, but Kenny didn't have one. He's going to buy one, and Kurt said, "Well, here, borrow that one as long as you bring it back." So he gave us a shovel, let us borrow a shovel. But we got her shoveled off and went. On that last video I posted, I edited it and whatnot, but I didn't edit it. I didn't have a lot of footage. My camera messed up. GoPros do not like cold or hot or low light. But I lost about 2/3 of the footage. We caught some really nice fish. It was a little later in. And where I'm going to start doing, where I have Kenny on my channel here, going forward about once a week. I try to do it once a week. Giving tips as far as rigs to use, how to rig stuff, colors for certain times of the year, patterns, you know, what are the fish doing, you know, this week, that week, whatever, on Mark Twain, as well as gear tips and whatnot, favorite jigs and hooks, and, you know, rods, reels, you know, may even get his opinion on the dreaded live scope everybody likes to complain about. He uses it. Of course, I do too. He's got a heck of a setup. He makes his living doing it though. Guiding from crappie, where I do catfish. I don't really need it. I do use my live scope on my catfish guide trips if you ever went with me. It's kind of neat how you can watch, see the fish down there, and we'll go over top of them, especially when I'm dragging. We'll go over top of fish and you'll see them, and then a little time after that, you know, when the baits get to them behind the boat, they'll bite. You know, that's kind of neat. It really shows how accurate your electronics are, that Garmin's are, when you do that, and them fish just bite right at you, drag over. What's really neat on the live scopes, you can see them, see such a wide angle at each side of the boat on perspective mode. You can see fish 30 feet over to the side, 60 feet out in front of the boat, and I'll turn my boat when I'm dragging, drive over top of them, pull that bait over top of them, and those fish will bite, and you'd have drove right by them without it. I think I'm out. I'm out of color. Yeah, pearl paint, I'm telling you, it clogs these things up something fierce. Yep. Take this little guard thing off the front of it. Helps the spray. I don't even put it on when I'm doing base coats. Okay. 3 more and I got all these done. Then we're going to do something a little different. We got 2 in here. Otherwise, usually don't draw a big crowd. Alrighty. I don't know if nobody's typing anything, or I can't see when you type. Could be why people aren't staying. Normally I can see chat on the screen when it comes up. If anybody's typing anything, I assume y'all can hear me. This is the type of stuff I do when I can't get on the water, especially during the winter. Get it all done up before spring. That way I'm not spending my spring and summer inside doing it when I want to be out fishing. One more and I'm done with this color. Kinda. Yeah. Go. Step 2 done. I am going to put a little more on there after them set up. I'll do that tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah. Take some of this weave material. That's how you make scales. I got these. I done the other. These are some experimenting. Here's a red one. And I got a green one here. About the same. Just green. But it's something a little different. I don't know if you can pick it up on camera or not. But you can see it almost looks like it's water splatter in there. The color. That's I diluted it to get a splatter effect. Now I got all these little clips, little clamp pitch things, or you pinch this on there. I just hold mine. I don't care if I get a little paint on my fingers. It's no big deal. I'm going to take this, I'm going to spray this over that white. You should make it look pretty cool. There's that. With a red belly. Pretty neat. Something that simple gives it that effect. Pull that tight. Just like that. There's another one. There it is. See that? Make it look like that. Pretty simple. Not hard. It does take an airbrush. I tried doing it right on can before I bought an airbrush. Puts out way too much paint. You end up with a big mess trying to rattle can it. We can hear you just listening while multitasking. Cool crappie day. Welcome to the channel. I occasionally do these little live streams. I don't do them all the time. Tell you, I wish we would have got that cold weather, man. The crappie were biting good here. I think I'm out of. There we go. This is the downside of not cleaning your. Oh, I just ran out. This is where it gets difficult when you run out. Now you gotta try to hang on to everything and put more in there. Oh, I need a drop. Black goes a long ways. Go. All that one. Go. A good one. That's the 3 red like that. Got green ones to do too. I get tired doing the same thing over and over. I don't know how, like Eric Massey and a friend of mine and man that owns the company on Pro Step on thumper jigs, I don't know how they sit there and tie the same jig over and over again. I paint about 5 or 6 of these and I'm ready to do something different, some different color or something. I done run it out again. Guess I need more to drop. Yes, I need more than just one drop. There's a green. That looks on green. Something a little different. Got another way I do it. I use a sponge to put blood splatter on. You use a sponge, a towel. Towel doesn't work as good because it tends to smudge when you do it, where a sponge works a little better. All I'm doing is just putting it on there like that, pulling that tight. And just painting over where I have white. You can do it with any other color, red. I've done it several different colors. White seems to make it pop a little better on a Darko. More. Back to base coat. Go. Looks good right there. Another one. Just like that. These red and green, I'll just put eyes on them and then top coat them. That's all I'll do on those. Cleaned up is where, between colors, that's the big thing, getting it cleaned up good. You don't clean this thing, if you don't clean this up, airbrush good, it's a nightmare. And I got a little thing of water here and an eyedropper. This is all acrylic paints. And I take and Pflueger good. This eyedropper, see that like that, kind of get as much of it out of that barrel as I can, out of the inside of this. That way I can take it off. And they got another thing of water here, I just drop it in there so it won't dry. And then as I'm spraying, I just squirt water into this airbrush as it's spraying. Get it all cleaned out good. And after I notice where, then I put it in there kind of upside down in my water. And it's warm water. And you can hear it, I'm sure, blowing bubbles. But putting it in upside down, this is my container, I'm putting it in like this. That way the bubbles come up here, but it's drawing water in and spraying continuously. That gets all that paint out of there. And you want to clean your nozzle and your tip real good. Get rid of, especially if you're going from a black to a lighter pigment color like white or yellow or anything like that. If you don't clean between, you know, red and whatever, you mix red and you don't clean it real good, and you put yellow in there afterwards, the first little bit of spray you get ends up being orange. You want to clean it good. Same way with your lids. It just takes a minute to get everything all cleaned up. Started a new color. Turn off my pump since it's having that running. I'm world's worst about cleaning this little lid. And then I drop my nozzle, which I do all the time. I just got an old folding table I use. I don't care if it gets paint on it. This is, I got a room in my house. This is a back room in my house. It's just an extra room. We kind of use it for storage. And then we got a bed back here. If I got somebody stays over, I got a couple buddies that come up and fish. Sometimes they'll stay with us instead of getting a hotel in the summer. So I got a bed, an old bed back here they sleep on. The old fishermen, we don't need nothing fancy. It's just, now when it comes to sleeping, we all want nice boats, but we can sleep on the ground if we have to. The fishing's good to us. Get my nozzle cleaned out. These little brushes, like pipe cleaner brushes. Nozzle, I don't mind using it for if you got to do smaller work. But if you're spraying a lot, that nozzle, it just clogs up, and then you get splatters out of the end of your brush. And then I, of course, got paint on my fingers from paint, and just get my fingers wet. It's just acrylic, just comes right off. Soap and water. And boom, ready to do another color. I have been asked, you only got one holder. Well, I've got more holders. I've bought alligator clamps and made my own and stuff. But what I found is when I'm doing these, I just, unless it's doing base coat where you can, you know, paint one, paint another one, and then flip it one way, paint another one. I just like doing them one at a time just on this thing. It's easy to hang on to, and you can manipulate it and whatnot. But all right, we're gonna do, let's see, what can we do? Well, let's see. I think what I'm looking for here. Here we go. Chiefs one, I guess. So we'll do some Chiefs colors. I haven't done any of them for a while. Red and white. Give this paint a good shake. All right. Oh, I forgot to get my paint barrel out, which I got bigger barrel, different sizes. Different sizes. It had black in it, so man, you really gotta clean it good when you use it. But black, red, dark green, a darker blue, any kind of, and white. You know, any of your colors that aren't opaque. You want to really clean it good. All right, barrel's clean. Screw it on. But if you use like you know, like your fluorescent yellows, fluorescent greens, or orange, you know, which I've got every color imaginable. I've got 30 some different colors here. But when you use these, that's when you need this base, or else it just, you spray and spray and spray, and the color's not, it's like I can still see through it. But when you use like a red, like a harsh red, or even like a purple, or like a darker blue, of course black, or like a dark green, they'll cover good, to where not as good as white and black. Believe it or not, white and black cover the best. So I go through a lot of white, a lot of black when I'm doing these. And now these are 2 ounce, 2 ounces is what those are. And there's 28 colors in the ones I'm buying. And I can paint about 300 before I need to order more of a specific color if I want. I would say I've probably painted 500 of these, and I've still got 3/4 of a white, and that's the one I use the most, is white. I do have a smaller, I should say 3 ounces total, because here's a smaller bottle of white, and I went through the smaller bottle and about 1/4 of this one. So I went through about an ounce is about all I've used in that many baits. I mean, I've done like 100 and some already on this batch of paint, and I've done all those white ones. Right there, there's, let's see, 15, 30, 3, and I got 20 or so, 24 of them, I think, hanging up in the other room, ready to go, ready to put the top coat on, and plus the first 200 I did. So of these, I got the smaller 4-inch ones. These are 4.5s, and I've done 300 or 400 of those, and that's all the paint I bought. So it lasts quite a while. You'd think you go through it pretty quick, but it really lasts quite a while. So we're going to do some red. We'll put some red, white. I can't get to be red, white, and black. Okay. I'm just going to hold these until it's a lot faster. That one's ready to go. Fill us up here. Before I do that, I need to clean up my lid. One thing about these acrylics, you want to make sure every now and then you clean your little lids up, because acrylic, when it dries, it's almost like a rubber. And if you get little pieces of dried paint down in your bottle, and then you dump it, you spray in there, it just clogs everything up. So we're going to do red. Got our red loaded, put our lid on. And you don't have to have your lid on your gun. It'll help regulate how much paint comes out of your gun. Here again, try to wipe your lids a little bit. There we go. Alright, let's do some chiefies here. camera a little bit. Quite get held tight enough, but it's alright. There we go. I'm going to put black down the center in the back anyway, so it don't need to be perfect. Alright, I'm going to use this one. Stuff was a little too short. Scared to pull on it. Alright. There we go. I'll put them stripe across the back. That changes the whole look of these baits. And then when you clear coat them, they really pop. That's when the color really pops on them. It's kind of wild how much pop that clear coat gives these baits if you clear them. Mom ought to be about home. She had to work today till 2. Get on there good. There we go. Pretty good. Another one. Jeez, one. So I mean, does color really matter there again? On these, I don't think it does. I mean, there are certain colors I think work better than others, but do they need to be ultra, do they need to be realistic, would be the best way to say it. Does it have to be realistic colors on there? I don't think it does. It ain't the same as a sight fish like bass. But I have had some bass fishermen buy some of these and put their hooks on them, So it apparently, you know, they think they'll work. You know, and these are some pretty good bass fishermen that have done it. I showed them to them, and I won't say name because they got sponsors, and I don't want to mess their sponsorship up, because they're using mine when they're supposed to be using them other ones, but I don't know if it would, but he asked me, hey, can you make some this color for a tournament I got coming up? And this was back in October, and I'm like, yeah. So he came over and stood over me basically and picked the colors and kind of told me what he wanted. I painted them up and cleared them and got them to him, and they worked pretty good, he said. So I think like anything, if you're using this type of lure for bass anyway, it's a reactionary predator. It's just a predatory response when the noise it makes and the motion, the splashing around on the water when you're jerking through the water, I think is just as important as the color for that. But for catfishing, I don't want them, like I said, I don't want them to hit this. I want them to hear the rattle, but I not necessarily, I don't want them to be looking for that. I want them to hear the rattle more and go, hey, what's going on over there, you know, and swim over there and then they catch the scent of my bait. And that's what keeps them in on my bait, you know. There we go, another red one. Let's see. I knock these out pretty quick. It's different. It's doing them in stages is what it is. If I still have another step on these, which will go fast because I don't have to, I'm just putting a stripe down the back. Is all I'm doing for that. And I can do it pretty much as soon as I'm done with these. I can start doing that. And another one. I think done doing this today. Mom will get home. I got a couple things I got to do before I can sit down tonight and watch Catfish Weekly with Lyle and Mr. Chad and Josh. That's at 7 o'clock on Catfish Weekly on YouTube. Little podcast. You haven't heard of it. I know Crappie Day has. I'm pretty sure. But I know he's on Panfish. But it's Lyle's other video podcast where they have, last week they had Parker on there, Parker Pursuits, Jerry Parker. That was a pretty good one. I didn't catch who they were having this week. So I'm going to get everything I need done by 7 so I can just kick back in front of the computer there and see who's all on and what they're talking about. Keep up with the latest practical joke and razzing of Mr. Chad. Don't know Chad on there. He's Fields to Water on YouTube. Him and the Boss D. They have a real good channel too. They do a lot of live stream out fishing when the weather's good enough. And then puts on quite a few online tournaments too. I wish I had better internet where I'm at. I'd like to fish a few of them, but I don't have good enough internet to stream from where I'm fishing. I tried it the other day when we were out there crappie fishing. I had a full signal, but it wouldn't let me live stream for whatever reason. Said it wouldn't do it. Wasn't allowed at that time. So I have a feeling it was where I was. I might have had a full signal on my phone, but not good enough to stream it. But I've only been able to stream fishing out on Mark Twain once during a tournament. We were by North Fork Bridge, by the railroad bridge up North Fork, and I had good enough signal I could stream from there. But it wasn't the best quality. It was pretty spotty as far as the signal, but at least I could stream from there. The other place was right out front of Southport Boat Ramp. One time I was able to stream for about an hour. But there again, I still had some quality issues with the stream. With the picture quality and stuff when you know how it is whenever you're streaming. If you don't have a real good signal, like here at the house, I'm on fiber optic here at the house, and I use my phone, of course, and stream live that way. But without being out on the lake, you don't have that fiber optic, so you're allowed on your cell phone signal. I've got a 5G phone. It's an iPhone 13, but it just because it says you got a good signal don't mean you got a good enough signal to do a lot of things sometimes. Looks pretty good. Bang, one more. One more. Then we get to go back and mix up another color. Yeah, I got one more. I got 3 more I could do. You know, when you get to doing this, I don't have set colors. Meaning you go, like Vince at the Hobby Hut carries them. He's been out for a while. He's just about out of everything. But he's waiting till spring to, to fill everything up, and that's understandable this time of year. There ain't a whole lot of people catfishing at Mark Twain. I got a call from, or I got a message on Facebook from a guy. He went into Redding Farms, and he got the last ones, and wanted to know how he could get more. And so I think the places like that, they maybe wait until spring before they reorder. Hunting Corner, I think, still has some 2-ounce sinkers. They don't have any of these. I know he's waiting till spring. He's already told me. So if you run into that and you do need them for a trip or whatever, you can get a hold of me on Facebook. DL Sinkers on Facebook, or Northeast Missouri Angler on Facebook. Either one's fine. But we'll figure out a way we can get them to you. Either you can come by to the shop, or I can ship them to you. If you're gonna buy them and you get them shipped, though, it's worth it just to buy enough of them. You're not gonna have to. It isn't worth shipping. 1 pack of these and 1 pack of sinkers, because you're going to spend, $13 on a pack of these, on the sinkers, and or 13. Let's see, these are $10 for 3, and the sinkers are $6. Sinkers are, depending on the size, $6 or $8 for 2. So if you just want, 2 packs of this and 3 packs of sinker, shipping right now is ridiculous. Like I said, priority U.S. Postal priority right now. Even the little small boxes, that are about that thick, they're about like this. They're actually smaller than this box right here. This little box here. Their smallest box right now is like $9 to ship it. So if you want to order, it's fine. I'm more than happy to ship things. Just keep in mind, you might want to order enough so it's worth your while. But the advantage to coming to the shop is, I have all this stuff in totes, and you can dig through and find, because like The shad, I do all them the same. But like the red ones, I just made 9 of them. So there's 3 packages. I've got some that are 2 or 3 packages, some 5, 6. The ones that sell a lot, solid black and pink, the shad, you know, those I'm going to have plenty of. But there's a lot of them I do that, you know, like red, gold, and black, you know, or black and gold, or I mean, I have metallic paints too. This is the gold. All these are metallics. There's a blue metallic. Looks like a chrome when you paint it on. But I usually just play around with them. Like I said, I get bored of painting the same thing. I do this mainly just for fun and for myself. And then I have some bait stores, you know, that local bait stores. I'm not trying to compete with Demon Dragon or Mad Cats or any of that. If I sell a couple $300, you know, get my money back on what I buy and pays for my gas fishing all summer, you know. So, but at this point anyway, here in a few years, my wife has talked like she wants me to kind of slow down, get to where I'm slowing down a little bit between the guide trip, the sinker stuff, my carpet cleaning business, and now these. I'm doing something all the time, it seems like now. I'm always going. She's said this last summer was a little bit busy for me, and I was always going, didn't stop much. So I got 3 more of these to do. I think I got enough red still in here to do them, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and do these last 3 in this red. And then I'm probably going to cut off the last string, because she ought to be home any minute. And get my stuff done that I need to do. There's another one. Go. Doing these live streams during the week, this time of day. I don't expect to be a whole lot of people on watching it. But it seems like the nights I want to do it, I can do it. It's something else going on. I don't want to compete with them, per se. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Ran out of paint. No, it didn't. It's just being dumb. Saying there's usually plenty of paint. Take the lid off of it, makes it easier to spray. I just got to be careful I don't dump it on my carpet. The nice thing is, if I do dump it on the carpet, I know a good carpet cleaner that can get it out. He done it before when that happened. All right. Last one I'm going to do today. Go. we go. Got a little red left. Put a red kill dot on some of these baits. If you don't know what a kill dot is, all it is a little dot. And I'm not a big fan of them on baits, but I know a lot of people like them. The problem I have with them is, to do them good isn't the easiest thing to do to get them even. But so I'm not going to mess with kill dots. I don't like them. I don't use a lot of stencils. Now, as long as you keep your lid on, you take your excess paint and dump it back in your container. But if you don't keep your lid on your gun and you're working for 15-20 minutes, it'll get a little dry and eventually it'll make your paint to where it won't spray. And you got to mix it up. Like I said, these are acrylics, so my paint gets a little thick. I can add water, but you got to be careful doing that too, because you'll if you get them too thin, it don't spray. It won't spray. It won't cover. It'll just splatter is all it is. That's how I do the splatters. Is use a toothbrush. Water down the paint. And then take and run your finger across the toothbrush. That's the easiest way to do the splatters. Blood splatter. That's we got Craig. Any fisherman swap meets around Twain. Not that I know of. The next one I know of is down at Lake of the Ozarks. I'm not sure. I think it's at that convention, big convention center down there. Other than that, Catfish Convention, of course, Louisiana and Louisville, Kentucky, I think it is, coming up. You type in the I can't remember what that fishing show's called. It's on my Facebook page. So I shared it because I was going to go to it. I wanted to go to Collinsville but couldn't make it. I ended up having to work. Unfortunately, what I do is I clean carpets, my primary income. And I got a call for a pretty good job, and I have to do them on Sundays because it's in the bank. Or Saturday and Sunday because it's in the bank. And they wanted it done Saturday so it could dry Sunday, so I couldn't make it to Collinsville. But Ozark, I know Grizzly Jig Company's putting on one, but nothing around the lake. I've never even heard of anything around the lake. That's something that it's hard to do because there isn't anywhere, for one, that really's got enough facilities to facilitate something like that out at the lake. Other than, I mean, there isn't any big convention halls or anything. I think the biggest building to even do anything in would you'd have to rent a school or something, one of the closed down schools like Center Gymnasium or Monroe VFW Hall or something. Even that ain't big enough. You could put 20 vendors in there maybe, but you can't. It almost takes somewhere that's got a big enough hall, you know, big enough convention center. And there just didn't even hang around a lake like that. There isn't enough development around Mark Twain to bring something like that here, I don't think. It would take a big building to have one worthwhile. Unless it was an outdoor deal, and you get the outdoor deal, you're not going to have somebody show up there like, you know, you might get your small time, you know, mall and paw guy, but you're not going to get nobody like Bluff City Outfitters or Grizzly or Brush Pile or Tackle Bandit, you know, any of the big names that normally set up at them. You might get a local boat dealer, you know, with a couple boats, but you're not going to pull any big boats, not like Collinsville or Catfish Convention type stuff. But I've never seen one around here. And I think that's what it is. There's not a hall big enough for a convention center to support, big enough to support something like that in the immediate area. Closest place would probably be Quincy, Illinois, Oakley Lindsay Center would be big enough. Maybe the old Hannibal Inn, but that place is so run down. I wouldn't want to try to promote a convention in that. It's like Mama's home.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm live streaming.
Huh?
I got a live stream going.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm getting ready to turn it off. I was just cleaning the airbrush up. Well, Mama's home. So I'm going to see what we're going to have for supper, whatnot. Everybody that was here, thanks for watching. And if you missed some of it and you want to watch it, I'll post it up, and you'll be able to go watch it. Go watch it. We'll do another one. Probably do another one of these in a day or two. I'll show epoxy in all of these and whatnot. Putting eyes on is pretty easy, and then epoxy, putting a top coat on. So, but as always, thanks for watching. Until next time, see y'all later.